watching the American Athletic Conference on ESPN. Welcome to Orlando on the beautiful campus of UCF. The regular season co-conference champions, the UCF Knights and the SMU Mustangs, will settle it tonight in the conference final. Was not an easy road. Here is how we got here. Off the Warrington throw-in, a magnificent goal scored by Philip Ponder with his back to the goal. What a victory for SMU. And in the nightcap, UCF trailing 2-0 at the half. Super Cal Jennings scoring his 20th of the season, cut the lead in half. And then it was Jennings to Sorkin to tie it at 2. In the final seconds of double overtime, Max Stewart, his first goal as a Knight, is the game winner. And that is where we stand. Here are the brackets. Not an easy road, but the two top seeds meeting tonight in the conference championship. Hello, everybody. Ari Shannock along with Matt Stubbington. And Matt, these two teams met in the conference title last season. Here they are again. What are the keys to this one?
Well, it's going to be really important that both teams control their emotions and make sure that they focus tonight. Emotional affairs on Thursday, and at times the emotions got the better of these two teams, but they have to make sure that they keep that in check and marry the urgency of the game with the execution of the game to be successful. Beyond that, the tactics for UCF, they've got to find the forwards, particularly Cal Jennings, to feed, and that way he can set the midfielders, and that allows those outside backs to get forwards. And when UCF are doing that, they're really difficult to defend. For SMU, they've got to get Quayshaw forwards, allow him to play in that space behind the forward line, and then they've also got to make sure they manage the transition. When SMU are doing that, on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively, they're tough to break down.
For SMU, the key player is last season's tournament most outstanding player in Emil Quayshaw.
Well, he's a fantastic player, technically gifted. He plays best in that hole behind the front line. And in the semifinals, he struggled. He didn't find that space that he likes to exploit. Coach Hudson, he's praised this player's growth, moving beyond just his technical ability, and now he understands what it takes to be a more complete player.
For UCF, the conference offensive player of the year, there he is, Cal Jennings.
Wonderful player, great speed, great vision. He's most effective through the middle of the park. He understands how to time his runs on the diagonal to get those vertical balls played up by the midfielders. He does really well as a target player, sets a lovely ball to the mids, and then immediately gets down to the business of finding the space in the box, and then also the business of scoring goals.
The American Athletic Conference Championship Tournament's kickoff straight ahead from UCF.
I was the last person anybody's thinking is going to be in college athletics. One thing I really valued about my SMU experience was being in engineering school. I was taught how to think. In 2012, my wife and I decided to start our foundation. Basically, the goal is to let kids be kids while they're in the hospital, but also be able to return to being a kid when they're done. A huge part of my quality of life is the experiences that I've had, and that was all provided by SMU. I'm Thomas Morstead. Game changers are shaped here.
I got it. Oh, this is big. Wow. This is big.
This is big.
This is big.
Welcome back. Good crowd here at the UCF Soccer and Track Stadium. Highly anticipated matchup between the two top seeds, the Knights and the Mustangs. Let's take a look at the starting 11 here for this one for SMU.
Oh, up top, you've got some really good players. Smith will probably drop more into the midfield. McLaughlin and Shackelford are really talented up top. Shackelford in particular has a lot of speed to burn and is really difficult to defend. It's going to be a really interesting matchup. And then look at Warrington, the outside back, has an extraordinarily long throw-in.
Yeah, that led to the game winner in double OT. Here is UCF starting 11.
They got some good players as well. They'll probably move more to a 4-4-2 with Dawkins and Jennings up top in partnership. Aman is starting tonight because Sorokin is unable to play tonight due to suspension. And Aman played really well, and he came off the bench on Thursday.
Now that is the way the Knights go as they huddle up for Coach Calabrese. We've got the two top keepers in the conference. The goalkeeper of the year, Yannick Edel, 6'2" sophomore from Germany, and Grant Makala, second team all-conference goalkeeper, the junior from Destin, Florida, in the net for the Mustangs. A rematch of last year's tournament championship. That went to overtime. It was a 2-1 edge for SMU that was played in Dallas. SMU winning their first American Athletic Conference championship last year, and UCF hoping to win their first this season on their home pitch. A lot of it will rely on this man, Cal Jennings, but he appears to be loose, doesn't he?
Seems to be very relaxed, ready to go. Played in big games before. When you're a talented player, you have confidence in your ability, why not be relaxed? He's also got a good supporting cast around him, which makes his job a lot easier.
Now, these two teams met back at the end of September. It was here in Orlando, and it was the Knights prevailing 2-0. UCF, 5-match win streak, 9-match unbeaten streak. SMU, 5 straight wins, 7-match unbeaten streak. The Mustangs huddle up, and we are ready, Matt.
Well, Haney with the headgear almost looks like an amateur boxer getting ready to start the first round of action, and well, they might. There was 42 fouls the last time these two teams met in the regular season.
A rivalry building between these two schools. We are underway here in the American Athletic Conference Championship. It's cooled off a bit here tonight. It was hot and steamy during the quarterfinals and the semifinals. Much more pleasant out there, Matt.
And some folks up north will say, oh, we'll take that cooling off at 72 degrees.
Yeah, 72. Cold front moved through.
And a colleague told me that there was some snow in Wisconsin this week. She got a photo from her family confirming the fact.
SMU looking to attack early. Shackelford able to keep it in play. Kuwait Show, very crafty. Shackelford switches it far side. Running it down is the speedster for the Mustangs. Unjomo in the air. Back into the box. And cleared by the Knights. Here's Cal.
You see Quayshaw there just occupying that space behind the front two and in front of the back four of UCF. Wonderful balance on the ball. That little moment on the left flank where he just stops on a dime, brings the ball back to Shackelford. The cross was not of the quality of the play that went before, but Quayshaw just showing how good he is on the ball.
SMU leads the all-time series against UCF. 7 wins, 4 losses, and 4 draws. And Dawkins will fill the lane to the right. Amon in the center. Loose ball, far side, run down by UCF.
It's a shame that Amon went to switch the point of attack. He had Dawkins on the right wing. Open, Warrington had stepped forwards from the left fullback position of SMU, so there was space to exploit, but not seen by Amon.
SMU, their program's 7-1 record in conference championship games. Mustangs 31 NCAA tournament appearances. That's the 8th most in the country since program inception in 1974. Only Virginia, Indiana, St. Louis, and UCLA have more bids to the NCAA tournament. UCF 5 NCAA Division I tournaments, 2 NCAA Division II tournaments. Their last appearance is 2011. There's Coach Kevin Hudson, his 4th season. 3 regular season titles at SMU. 2015-2017 Coaching Staffs of the Year in the conference under Kevin.
Interestingly hearing his comments during and after the game on Thursday. No qualms about it. He was not happy with the performance from his team, particularly in the first 45 minutes. No. Said that his team played with not enough emotion, were very lackluster, and at times were hiding behind defenders. So perhaps a relieved Kevin Hudson to be in this match tonight.
And there's Coach Scott Calabrese, the Newton, Connecticut native. Named the 6th coach in program history back in 2016. He's coached at FIU. He's a 2-time conference coach of the year, 3 NCAA tournament appearances, 2010, 2013, and 2015. And looks like he will make it here in 2018. A win here would seal it. And the automatic NCAA tournament bid with a victory tonight for the Knights.
So Oliveris on that far sideline getting the start tonight for UCF.
Oh, pushed out of bounds by Shackelford. As turning to the ref there is Adu Pepra. A nice move by Gideon, freshman from Newcastle, England. Well, here's our first throw in from Warrington. And this kid can let it sail. Waitman. They get organized with Learman. It'll be interesting to see how much they miss Sorkin.
I'm just looking down at the 4th official in conversation with the head coach of UCF. Coach Calabrese was saying, hey, when Warrington throws it in, there's a lot of sideways spin on the ball. Drawing the 4th official's attention to that. Old school players and coaches would say that that would not be a legal throw-in.
Our first shot of the match, one hopped into the hands of Makala. Jennings off his heel looking for Dawkins. A little bit ahead of the run by Walker. Shackelford waiting for help. Switches far side, Mujama. Very quick, his shot is saved. Getting down low, Edel.
Lovely sequence of play from both teams. Really nicely done. Warrington, he was able to spring the counter because of his ability to turn on the ball, find Shackelford forwards, then Shackelford with a lovely cross-field pass, and draw your attention to the save from Edel. Lovely technique, getting his feet from underneath him, getting his body behind the ball.
Edel, 17 starts, 18 goals against 59 saves, 77% save percentage, and 4 shutouts for the keeper of the year in the conference. SMU like to get it on the foot of Quayshow when they're building. 6 assists, is second in the conference for Emil. There's Talon, Warrington. Haney plays it back. Philip Ponder. Quayshow losing its footing there. And then able to recover as Warrington, winning that challenge, puts it into the 18. But quickly cleared back out.
See how Apra did not want to concede the throw-in right there with the ability of Warrington.
Conference midfielder of the year, Perez getting this started. That ball put a little bit too out front of Amon. Let's now welcome in our third member of the broadcast crew, Haley Outen.
So not only is UCF without midfielder Yoni Sorokin tonight, they are also without midfielder Atabu Berry, who strained his hamstring during the warm-up. The UCF coaching staff pulling him from the starting lineup just moments before kickoff, which is why Ricardo Oliveras got the start today. So it'll be interesting to see how the UCF coaching staff manages this with the NCAA tournament in mind. And as of right now, Berry with ice on that hamstring, so not usually a good sign for going back into the game, which also means the Knights are without 2 of their starters here in the final.
A good update, Haley. Thank you so much, because we were wondering why that last-second scratch with Berry. So short-handed are the Knights as they look for their first conference championship without Sorkin, first-team all-conference, and Berry, one of their key pieces, the sophomore from France, who has 4 assists and 3 goals on the season, Matt.
I would expect UCF, though, to go with the mentality of next player up. And at times, when you feel like your back's against the wall, you play at your best. The likes of Oliveras and Aman are certainly more than capable of contributing to the output of UCF. We saw that on Thursday.
DuPepper able to head that away from danger with Shackelford in the area. There's a key in 6 goals, scored his 6th here on Thursday in the 2-1 semifinal victory over Memphis. McKeon's second-team all-conference. There is that throw in all the way into the 18. It's sent to the near post, and covering up is Edel.
Just looking down at the officials. It's a really dangerous throw-in. Fourth official was conversing with the assistant on this near sideline, Mike Wallace, talking with Mark Allerton.
Jennings blast, and recovered after the first deflection is Makala.
Wondering what the officials are talking about that throw-in, but from a very tight angle. That was a difficult save, made look pretty easy from the goalkeeper at his near post. It wasn't the most powerful shot, but it was dipping and bounced right in front of the keeper, so he had to get his body behind it.
Yeah, with a lot of tricky spin on it too, Matt.
Absolutely.
Makala, 46 saves, 81% save percentage, 29th in the nation with 6 shutouts. There's the cross. Kept out Warrington, able to chest it back in.
Great imagination there from the defender. Just didn't quite come off for him.
Maples. Swing it far side to Haney.
I feel like we didn't mention Smith's name a whole lot on Thursday. But that's what you want as a coach from your holding midfielder. If that player's doing his job, then he doesn't get a lot of attention.
Caleb Smith, the senior from Arlington, Texas. A takedown there of Jennings will draw the whistle. And the ire of the home crowd, Warrington, on the other end of that collision. There's Louis Perez, midfielder of the year in the conference. There's a takedown of Jennings.
Credit to Warrington here. He looks like he's going in and seems to try and pull himself out of the challenge so it's not as bad as it could have been. Either way, it was a tactical foul. Didn't want Jennings to get a head of steam up as he enters the attacking third.
Louis Perez, very accurate. Headed right back to Louis. Perez to his right, being grabbed. He stops and turns to the official and does get the call. A sophomore from France.
That was definite grabbing there. See, Shackelford still got his Band-Aid on his cheek. That was a big gash that opened up on his face on Thursday in the action against Memphis.
Well, let's see what Louis elects to do here. He put it right to the edge in front of the 18. Goes a little bit deeper on the turf and kicked straight up in the air. Makala can't seize it. Dawkins with 2 defenders. Walker working 1v2. Able to split them. And cleared out of there by Caleb Smith.
Good play from Dawkins, finding a way to keep things alive in the attacking third. Unlucky that his pass didn't come off.
That long ball unable to connect with Amon. There's a good look at Richard, the junior from Ghana. There's the one. Jennings nearly got a foot on that one before it was hit in the air. It's actually punched out of there by Makela. Amon put it into the corner, but no white shirts are there. SMU averaging 1.67 goals per match, 6 corner kicks, first in the conference. That's 6 per game, 20th in the nation. Well, they were held to 2 corners against the Tigers on Thursday night. Perez going down, the 2 number 10s, Perez and Quaisho. We also have an injured Knight player here. I believe it's Adu Pepra. They can ill afford to lose another body.
And so collision with Arlander.
Maples is there. SMU.
We knew it was going to be physical. We knew it was going to be emotional. I've certainly seen that in the first 15 minutes.
Garrett McLaughlin, number 7. Well, SMU, they've made the Sweet 16 on 21 occasions in the NCAA tournament. This is the 9th appearance in the conference final, 2nd in the American Athletic Conference tournament final. 4 championships in 4 different conferences since 1997 for the Mustangs. So no stranger to tournament conference finals. Mustangs have gone into PKs once in conference finals. That was back in 2003, Matt. A senior by the name of Kevin Hudson fired the clinching PK to win. He is now the head coach of the Mustangs.
Rich history for the Mustangs. And a very loyal head coach to his program.
First set piece opportunity here for SMU. Well defended by the Knights.
Delivery hasn't been the best on the attacking set pieces that we've seen so far.
And SMU, there is their first corner of the night. Coach Calabrese.
Waitman thought that he had been fouled and surprised that he actually conceded the corner kick.
There's Waitman. Quaisho along with Smith over there. Emil with 6 assists, 5 goals on the season. In swinger straight out front, high in the air. Ooh, very dangerous for UCF because Edel was off his line, Matt. We'll get a look at that again.
The ball comes in. Goalkeeper gambles, gets nowhere near it. Ball is bouncing. How about that play from Hernandez that leaps like a salmon on the goal line, heads it out, ends up getting fouled in the process. So the goal would not have counted, but that's great work from the central defender. As soon as the goalkeeper gets out of his net, he backs him up. It's a fantastic job of not letting that ball cross the goal line.
A critical defensive play by Andres Hernandez, the freshman from Costa Rica, with Garrett McLaughlin, second team all-conference player, right there waiting to head it in.
Looking down at UCF's bench, and Barry is up trying to stretch out a little bit and sitting with ice on his hamstring.
That's got to be so frustrating for Barry. And Sorkin unable to play here in the tournament final. Haley's got a word for us down on the sideline. Haley.
We see SMU trying to build in this attack, and head coach Kevin Hudson told me before this game he wants his players to challenge the keeper and try to get corners, something we just saw here moments ago.
Shackelford drop. They play on. Aggressive play from Learman. In the middle of the field, this is Oliveros. And Dawkins scampering to his right with his quick feet. Walker stop, hoping for the whistle, didn't get it. They're letting him play a little bit early. Nice takeaway for the Knights. It's a round of applause for Hernandez.
Well, it was clever from Dawkins because he saw that he had support to his right. Warrington was anticipating that pass out to Amant. Dawkins tried to take the ball up the field. Warrington, in his haste to get back goal side, wrong foots Dawkins, and there was a collision of players, but no call from the referee.
It appears to be Luis Perez down on the turf. Yep.
Kick on the outside of the right knee from Arlander. George Luna Hernandez in charge tonight. Has been a busy boy in the first 20 minutes.
That was kind of in an awkward area. Let's hope that Waitman is okay. Zach Sr. from Montverde, Florida. You look at Adu Pepra. You never want to see a player holding their knee, Matt. Well, UCF's got to be holding their breath. 2 players down already.
Oh, Perez as well. So integral to the central area of the midfield. Turns his back on the play. There's the connection.
That's an awkward hit to Louis.
The foot was somewhat planted. I think it's quite as bad as it could have been as far as all of the weight being on that leg, but it certainly was awkward. And the player is in a lot of discomfort, and hopefully he will be fit and ready to go. Coach Calabrese is going to his bench. Looks like he has a substitute ready, with Villalobos Vega ready to come on.
Looking on with concern as they check the right knee of the conference midfielder of the year, Luis Perez.
That was the sign from the athletic trainer. He needs to come out.
Now, Louis suffered cramping Thursday night, logging a lot of minutes with a high work rate. Well, let's hope Louis is okay as he's holding that right knee. Crowd gives him a nice round of applause. Coach Calabrese already down 2 starters. Was Sorkin serving the suspension, and Barry a late scratch with a hamstring. We have a UCF free kick upcoming with Perez heading to the bench. The Frenchman. I'm sure Haley will try to get an update in a moment for us. That ball sent in, and I believe it grazed off of the head of an SMU defender. We will have our first corner kick of the evening for UCF.
Steve Woods delivers a good ball, bends it in so nicely. Difficult to defend, gets over the first defender, and then just drops like a stone.
And the jersey on is Apper Bay. That one out in the middle, bicycle attempt. As Stigwart launched the corner. Here's Max, scored the game winner Thursday night. That attempt of service knocked away. Stigwart's corner. Oliveros, swing and a miss. Adu Pepra hustles back to the defensive end. Coach Hudson looking at, pacing a bit. Probably more pleased with his team's first half performance here tonight, Matt.
He'll be a little frustrated that they haven't had more play in their attacking half, but I think he's going to be a lot happier with the demeanor of the team and the effort of his squad so far. Oh.
I think that ball hit one of our microphones downfield side.
It might have been associate head coach Paul Souders there showing off the skills.
Haley ducking out of the way of that one. Amon, he hits it across, but scooped up, seized with Jennings in the area. So alertly, Makala secures it. Maples and Warrington. Haley out and down their sideline. Was in the way of that one. I heard Haley was quite a player in her day. Nice footwork by Learman. Well, we played over 20, Matt. What's your impression of the first 20 minutes?
Well, that's much what we expected. An even game between two good teams. Commitment in the tackle. Imagination going forwards. And it's just going to take a moment of magic from either of these two teams or a complete breakdown mentally for one of these squads to take the advantage. And at the moment, it's pretty much as you would anticipate. Just a good game of football.
Warrington with some space. That ball ricocheted off a couple white jerseys, but now collected. Adu Pepra. Learman surveys and waits.
I like the way Learman plays the game. Central defender, big, strong, loves to go forwards.
Haley's got an update on Louis.
The Knights right now without 3 of their starters. Louis Perez exiting the game just moments ago with a right knee injury. The training staff has ice on that right knee, and teammates and coaches have kind of been going up and showing support. So signs don't look good for Louis to come back in the game, but we'll have to wait and see.
Thanks, Haley. So not good news for Knights fans and Louis Perez. Let's hope it's nothing significant.
This is where, as a coach, you have to make the decision. If it's touch and go, do I make the decision to send him back into this game? Or do I rest Perez, Barry? When you're looking at the bigger picture and the national tournament that starts next week.
A couple of those goal kicks by Makala have sailed into the bench. There is a strong breeze heading in that direction. The weather kind of changed. It was hot today. A little bit of a cool front came in this evening just before the start of this match. With increased wind. Shackelford still challenging and able to collect. Akian blasts one over everybody and sailing over the bleachers behind the net.
So hard as a player to get that one down on frame. Just great hustle from Shackelford, keeping the ball alive. And right here, he's moving away from his goal. You see his body weight falling backwards as he strikes the soccer ball. Hence it goes high and wide of the net. But just great effort from Shackelford, trying to get a goal-scoring opportunity for himself.
Maples advancing, gets it back. They switch it, Mujama.
I was thinking to myself, we haven't seen Quayshow for a long time, and then I look down on the field, and he's wanting the ball to his feet so he can switch the point of attack. Ball never reaches him, and he's just clapping his hands in frustration.
Villalobos attacking. McLaughlin, preseason Mac Herman Trophy watch list player, second team all conference. Number 7 in black, 3 goals, 2 assists this season.
This is easily said from our vantage point. Obviously, we're not down on the field playing, but sometimes I'd just like to see a little bit more composure from the players in the middle of the pitch. See if they can find a way to switch the point of attack. I was only going to take 1 extra touch on occasion. Sometimes they're taking too many touches. They're bringing the ball back into pressure. If they could find a way just to open the bodies up a little bit and find a way to get the ball across the field, it would open some more opportunities down the flanks.
Well, these two teams met in the conference championship last year. It was 2-1 SMU in overtime in Dallas. That was the first conference final. This tournament began in 2013 that didn't go to PKs. USF won in 2013. Tulsa, 3 straight, 2014, 15, and 16. Here's Quayshow. His service and volleyed. Oh, nearly in the net. Great opportunity. Beautiful pass from Quayshow.
Love the reaction from Shackelford and McLaughlin. The cross was sublime. And they look at each other and wonder, how did we miss that between us?
Well, ricocheted off the foot of Shackelford and then off the side of the head of McLaughlin.
Oh, it was a great ball played in. The runs were there from both players. They just got desperately unlucky not to put that one in the back of the net.
A couple of very good chances for the Mustangs here in the first half. Quayshow so creative. And UCF with Apperpay. Oliveras. In the corner finds Cal. They get it back to the 20-goal scorer. Directs it across and headed out of bounds. So corner kick upcoming for the Knights.
Nice work defensively from Haney there. Had to make sure of it. He wasn't to know that there wasn't a UCF player within shouting distance of him. Runs have to come in. Great work there. Athletically done from Haney. UCF have to organize in the box, recognize that Cal Jennings is the one serving it. So if Jennings is serving it, somebody else has to make the run.
That last touched a foot of UCF, so it'll be a goal kick. Stigwart, he's from Plymouth, Minnesota. There's the shots so far. 3-1 advantage for the Mustangs. Good crowd on hand here at the UCF Soccer and Track Stadium. Bleachers behind Makela full. The near side bleachers just about at capacity.
Fans in the parking deck.
Yeah.
As you'd expect.
Up on that top floor, the 4th floor. A bird's eye view.
Steadily coming in.
Tailgating up there, Matt. What a week it's been here on the campus of UCF. Homecoming week, the Spirit Splash at the Reflection Pond yesterday. One of the best homecoming traditions in the nation. American Athletic Conference tournament. We have football, the Knights against Navy today. Good ball game. UCF remaining undefeated with a victory this afternoon. It's a place to be this week. Dawkins, and coming out to capture Makela.
Goalkeeper showing his great range. Such an important facet of the goalkeeping game is ability to come off of the game, read when you have to do that, and then also get forwards quickly. Make those all-important saves at the top of the box.
Learman plays it back to Edel.
I don't know how
The co-regular season conference champs battling it out here in the tournament final. Caleb Smith, Warrington. And Maples, far side. Maples. Jomo waiting to receive that pass, never got there. Counterattack, building for UCF, crowd anticipating.
Pocket pick by Munjomo. He's going to be an important part of the action tonight for SMU. He hit it for a long period in the first half on Thursday, but once Munjomo got into the game, he was exciting going forwards. And in the second 45, he was probably one of the difference makers for the Mustangs.
Mustangs looking to repeat as tournament champs here in the American. Well, how much does UCF miss Louis Perez in the middle of that field, man?
His composure on the ball and his vision going forwards has certainly been missing.
There comes Cal Jennings to his right. Tries to unload. That ball was blocked out. Oh, good play coming forward by Learman. There's so many little things out there. The freshman from France doesn't play like a freshman, does he?
An experienced player coming in. All of these freshmen now are no longer freshmen. They're close to being sophomores.
Cal on the right side. Likes to get to his left. Hits it across towards the far post. Just a little ahead of the run there by Walker Dawkins, who has tallied 4 goals on the season. There's Cal Jennings. 20 goals, 5 assists.
Look at the way he receives the ball. He's turning up the pitch immediately. The run there from Adu Pepra opens the space for Jennings to come in the inside. The shot isn't the greatest, but it gives everybody a chance because it's on the ground to the far post. Dawkins was coming on the run. He almost gets a touch. Aprabe was there as well. He might have had an opportunity. And if Jennings had connected it as he had wanted to, it probably would have bent into that far post as well. So good play all around from number 3.
Nicky Hernandez into the match for SMU. All rookie team player a couple years back, all tournament team last season. Learman again coming up from the back to retain possession for UCF. The last touch by Adu Pepra. Oliveras, physical. Collided with Hernandez.
Welcome to the game. Good refereeing there from Mr. Hernandez in yellow. Waiting to see whether advantage would be gained by SMU as the ball found its way out to the right flank. Almost got on the foot of Munjoma.
There's Munjoma. 2 goals, 4 assists on the season. Directs it far post. Coming way out. And able to ward off the challenge and sees it was Edel.
Goalkeeper's gambled a couple of times on these crosses coming in. He was a fortunate boy to get at that one at the second time of asking.
Munjoma. UCF down 3 starters. Perez and Barry injured. Sorkin serving the suspension. Adu Pepra looking for Dawkins there. Ooh, UCF almost had an advantage, just able to clear that away. Excellent play for SMU. Is that Ponder down there?
I believe it is. Almost getting caught in possession at the top of the box.
Adu Pepra ready to heave it in. Maples heads it right back to him. Well, fancy footwork by Adu Pepra. Jennings, the blast is blocked. That pass, ooh, just across the face by Cal. So close. Jennings shaking his head. He had a goal and assist on Thursday.
So well to shake and bake the defender. It's a little shimmy of the head and the shoulders. Turns to the corner. Ooh. Oliveras, you got to commit. You're at the back post. You've made the run, lay out. Try and make contact. Did everything right, did Oliveras, except for make contact with the ball. Maybe there was a little too much on the cross from Jennings if you're being picky, but good play there. Coughlin coming out.
Hobbling a bit.
DJ Williams came in, I believe.
Warrington trying to settle, working against Cal. Warrington.
I like the fact that Warrington's trying to get forwards on this left flank.
7 minutes remain in half number 1 here at the tournament final.
If the outside wingbacks for SMU can go forwards, Munjoma and Warrington, it means that Waitman and Adu Pepra for UCF cannot join the attack for the Knights.
The ball launched downfield onto the track. Haney quickly into Caleb Smith. Caleb on the under-20 U.S. national team.
That's what you're doing as a coach, though. You're trying to pick your poison. Do I play conservative and hold my players back, or do I play caution to the wind? That's what Kevin Hudson is doing, and sending his wingbacks forwards, trusting that Maples, Ponder, and Haney can take care of business on the back line. So far, they've managed to do that just about.
On the attack, UCF. Oliveras. And flag comes up for offsides, negating that attack. Good build up there by Villalobos and Oliveros.
Both teams like to build through the midfield when they can. Conversely, both teams are really dangerous on the counter once they get the ball going in the right direction. A lot of speed to burn, both squads up top. And all of the players are good with the ball to feet, turning upfield so quickly.
Two teams played here September 28th. The final net one was UCF 2, SMU 0. And that was the last defeat suffered by the Mustangs. They're on a 5-match winning streak, as is UCF. 9-match unbeaten streak, and for SMU, 7-match unbeaten streak.
Perez out of the midfield. So UCF have settled more into a 4-1-4-1 lineup as opposed to the 4-4-2 that they were employing when Perez was in there with Dawkins and Jennings up top. Now Dawkins and Jennings are occupying the central midfield and outside wing on the right side position as Dawkins swings and misses on that tackle.
Patience now moving forward. That ball bent in just to the side of the 18.
Well, look on Coach Calabrese's face was a picture. Both hands to his head and a little puff of the cheeks in relief that Dawkins didn't make contact as he slid past the SMU defender. He makes contact with that one. He's probably looking at a red card.
Corner kick here for the Mustangs. Munjomo with Quayshow just to his right if he elects to play it short. He does. Emil will earn another corner as that deflects off Dawkins.
Good solid defense there from Dawkins. So easy to bite on the fancy footwork. Doesn't do so.
Whistle blows.
Again, great defensive work from Dawkins there, showing that he can play both sides of the ball. Quayshow tries to get past number 11. He just turns quickly on a dime, gets his body between Quayshow and the ball, and wins the free kick. Nicely done by Mr. Dawkins.
Noah Hilt, who picked up an assist on Thursday night on the pitch for Coach Hudson. And substitute for UCF marching onto the field is Ibanez Gregorio, sophomore from Weston Cypress Bay High School, as he replaces Oliveros. Coach Calabrese having to dig a little deeper into that bench without three players here. A great opportunity for some of the kids off the sideline.
I think both sets of coaches will be going to the bench a little bit more as well, even without the injuries. Just trying to manage the squad, manage the game. Both teams obviously played a lot of minutes on Thursday night. So even though these are fit athletes, there will be some tired legs, and you try and manage those minutes as the game progresses so that you have those players available in the second half.
Yeah, both teams going nearly 110 minutes on Thursday night, double overtime. It took both of these schools to advance. The 1 seed and the 2 seed in the tourney. Warrington, this is where he's dangerous. Look at this heave, right out front, punched out, and the whistle stops play. Yannick Edel, American Athletic Conference Goalkeeper of the Year. And his counterpart is the second team all-conference keeper, Makala. There's 40 seconds remain. Let's see if UCF has one attack in him. Upper Bay puts it down to Cal. Big crowd on hand for UCF, waiting for something to erupt over. It may have to wait until the second half. Villalobos into the 18, high-headed, just grazed off, but some last-second excitement here as good attempt by Upper Bay, and that brings the first half to a close. So Certainly nothing decided. We are scoreless. There's a good look at that shot. We're going to go down to Haley with Coach Calabrese.
Coach, without 3 of your starting midfielders in that first half, how has that impacted the way that you use your leading scorer in Kyle Jennings?
Well, we had to shuffle some things around, and so